And welcome to the Rebel Love Show. We are a once-a-week broadcast from Manchester, New Hampshire, where we are pro-pot, pro-gun, and pro-coffee. You can find all of our content at rebelloveshow.com. I'm Rob Mathias.
And I am the Rebel Mistress. So, Rob, what have you been up to this week?
It's been a busy week. I got to spend a vast majority of my free time during the weekend watching you finally finish Star Wars, which we'll get to.
Yeah. Was that was this week?
Yeah, that
right?
was this weekend. Yeah, we're all caught up.
Okay. Well, in that case, that's how my week was. I was watching Star Wars.
Yeah. Besides that, DJ RLS, we checked the local Manch DJ playing a gig down in Nashville.
Yeah, that was Thursday.
Awesome.
One of our DJ friends, he does a gig down there. He's a great DJ. I think it's like a mixture of like house, and then he like mixes a lot of like original stuff.
Yeah.
And we got a bunch of people to go out and just dance. It was very different because if I felt like this time I had a goal in mind. Usually I just dance like aimlessly.
What was your goal?
To get 10,000 steps on my Fitbit.
Yeah, this Fitbit challenge is like pushing us so far.
Yeah, it keeps me accountable. Buy a Fitbit. Go.
Yeah, if you're on Fit, if you get Fitbit, add both of
Mathias.
us because we need some more motivation.
It's just Anne Leverett. Add me on Fitbit. Let's have competitions. It's great. I love all the dirty talk. Have you ever seen The League?
The League.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a comedy shows with what's kind of like sports oriented.
They like fantasy football, and they have
right.
fantasy football teams. But basically, they have like a chat where they have league banter, and it's just like the dirtiest, like most insulting things you can say to someone. I feel like our chat's like evolving.
It's definitely evolving to that. I mean, we're in the whole week challenge right now, whereas like till Friday we're in a challenge to the end of that.
Yeah, and it's just us basically talking shit. But it's motivating, I think.
Oh yeah, it's definitely motivating.
I've been winning.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm glad you're winning because I actually.
Are you trying to call me fat? You're trying to call me spherical?
Spherical? No, I'm not trying to call you that. Anything big. You're definitely not spherical. You're hot as hell. But
okay, thanks.
I'm glad that you're getting motivated to work out because we gotta look good for Pork Fest, for our wedding.
Well, I'm gonna look better than you. So
I don't think so, babe.
Anywho,
that's a huge thing to say. I highly doubt you're gonna look better than I will.
I feel like Thursday probably wore both of us out, and then after that it was just like Star Wars. And that's pretty much the weekend.
I also
like
worked.
Netflix
I
and
worked
chill.
a hell of a lot too. There's also a new movers party too earlier that week, which had like 20 some new movers, which is insane to begin with too.
Oh
The fact
yeah,
that there's that many movers each month. That there's over a couple dozen.
and a lot of them don't even come to the new movers party. If you're a new mover, like you should try to come to at least one of the events. I feel like we'll meet most of these 21 people at Liberty Forum, which is around the corner.
I know that's like you're doing a skit for that, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm doing the comedy show, which is gonna be Thursday night. Don't quote me, but yeah, there'll be a comedy show at Liberty Forum. I'm really looking forward to that. I've been in theater for 9 years.
I'm excited about. Forget the fact that Edward Snowden's going to be speaking at there. You need to
watch the Rebel Mistress.
Doing some stand-up comedy, improv. That's a reason to buy a ticket to Liberty Forum.
I think so. And plus, you'll get to meet all these awesome new movers. I don't know what our percentage is lately. I feel like I should check it before every show. It changes.
We're gonna hit. I want to say they're gonna hit 90% of signers within the next few months.
Yeah,
hopefully by Liberty Forum. That'd be awesome.
That's what they announced at the new movers party. That definitely by Pork Fest.
I think they might actually get the sign that they might get the trigger by Pork Fest or at Pork Fest. That'd be amazing.
That's what she thinks. I think she was like their Facebook campaign's going really far. So Rob, what is your introduction? What's your pitch to the new movers who move here all young and wide-eyed?
My pitch to them?
Yeah, you got to make them feel welcomed. What do you like? You have this whole like persona. I like it. What is
persona?
Yeah, you're just like, hi.
Well, I mean, if I go into a room, especially like a new movers party, if I don't recognize people in there, I just assume. I mean, I'm going to go at any part. I'm going to go introduce myself. But if it's a new movers party, I'm already thinking that hey, these people are probably new because I haven't seen them before, I at least would have seen them on Facebook or like something like that. Like, or I would have seen their pictures, or I would have seen them. If I don't recognize them at all, then, or I may recognize them as being a new mover because I was watching their move. I love watching people's moves on Facebook, like posting their photos of like, hey, we're packing up, we're making the journey. And I love watching people move. So sometimes I actually see them and go over them in person, like, hey, I love watching your move.
Yeah.
But
I've been trying to check the Facebook event and just see who they are, because they're usually tagged in there, so I can get like that, like,
I love
this person will be there, so I can know how they look.
It's usually Chris Lopez, sometimes Bumps. They keep changing up. There's always different people doing it, but the new movers parties and welcome wagon. If you're thinking about moving, the FSP welcome wagon, get in that group.
You still didn't say your pitch.
Oh, that's right. So my pitch, every time I see a new mover, I go over and say, hey, how's it going? I'm Rob, blah blah blah. And I kind of give them I give them like a little bit of recommendations, like what they should do. Go in these, get in as many Facebook groups as you can, social network, go to as many events as you can, at least in the first few months, build up a network, a base of people that you can, get in contact with easily. Because it's hard being, going to the other side of the continent or wherever you may have moved from without having anything there. You got to have a base of people to reach out to.
Yeah.
And most people don't do that. And on top of that, I always tell them to be social butterflies, because it's one of those things where, they move here. They're moving here for a new life. They're moving here to, they're immigrants. They're from a far off land. Yeah. And no one really knows who the hell they are. They can be whoever they want.
And that's the best part about it. I feel like my pitch is basically, just being as nice as possible. People are excited. They just moved here. Like, I remember when I just moved, my anniversary is coming up.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, it's in a couple days.
Yeah, it's on the 11th. And I remember when I first moved, I was just excited, excited to be a part of something more with people who were like awake and aware. And I feel like every time I meet someone, I just try to be as friendly as people were to me. And, it's never a bad thing to make a new friend. So I always leave hoping that I can make them feel welcome by thinking, that girl is really nice. Like, I can have friends here. And that's important. The whole social aspect of it. And I made a lot of recent new friends. They're all married.
Yeah, a lot of married couples moving here. And it's one of those things where I don't want to like tell them.
I can't even hook.
You kind of got a joke where it's like, you guys know this is a divorce date project, right? Like,
oh God, no!
You know that, right? Like, I can't
even hook anyone up anymore. Like, I've been trying to, like, I'm wing woman extraordinaire. I've been trying to hook Cody O'Connor up, like, all the time.
Well, you've had some success doing that.
I've had success, but now it's all like this big Eskimo family tree, and everyone's like snitching. And I'm like, hey, have you met my friend Cody? They're like, oh my God, why are you trying to introduce like Cody to him? You tried to introduce Cody to me. Like, you introduced me to my boyfriend, and then someone's like, oh, you introduced me to her boyfriend too. And right. I'm just like, you guys are ruining my game here. We need less married women, because now all the single ladies are like, I've already dated him. So what? If I've already dated someone, I would not, I'd make sure. I'm trying to get everyone laid. That is my goal.
You do a pretty good job of that too. You're a great wingman.
We got some cop bloggers here. More single ladies move to the Free State Project.
Yeah, they're definitely.
So I can hook you up.
Well, I mean, or you can just wait for those married couples to break up.
Oh,
a bunch of single women. That's mean. That's mean. I know. That's mean. It's inevitable, though. Like,
you think so? I feel like there's so many happy families too.
I don't know of any married couples that I know. People that got married after they moved here, but it's rare to see a couple actually move here and stay together.
Really? I wish I could like contradict you, but I don't have any examples of some people.
Usually a lot of people break up right before they move or right after they move.
Well, when we come back, we're going to talk about my journey through Star Wars. Super excited.
This is your Roberts & Roberts Brokerage Daily Precious Metals Update. In early trading Tuesday, gold is up $6 at $1,077 per ounce. Silver is 4 cents lower at $14.29 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at $396 US.
Holy shit!
We still have
Bitcoin's
plenty
at
of
396 now?
2015 US Mint silver and gold
Fuck
Eagle
yeah,
coins available.
motherfucker.
To get yours now,
It
give
had
Roberts
dropped
and Roberts
down.
a call at
I haven't checked in a while.
800-874-9760
Three
or shop
something.
online at rrbi.co.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
Who told you to go this way? You can do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me.
Well, I'm comfortable here, actually.
Whoa. Hey, who do you think you are?
Excuse me.
There is no video or audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today. You ain't gonna make me wait on account. Now, wait a minute.
Forget the road.
Whoa. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from?
Because you scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this?
Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free
I gotta
and
say
order
that
the
when it comes
director's
back. I don't
cut DVD
I mean, you
at
should only say it like once,
victimlesscrimespree.com.
Yeah.
Instead of just listening, you can also watch. See the Liberty Radio Network's key New Hampshire-based live shows via our studio cam at cam.lrn.fm. Plus, you'll still be able to listen to the Liberty Radio Network via the cam feed in high quality 24/7, even when there's no live show being produced in our Keene studio. But wait, our chat room is built into the cam page so you can interact with other listeners online. Listen, watch, and chat, all free at cam.lrn.fm. That's cam.lrn.fm.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for under $30,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet under $30,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait.
Call 800-917-8251. 800-917-8251. 800-917-8251.
The three most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. You likely buy all kinds of things online. Amazon is the largest online retailer. You can get what you need at the same great prices, and LRN gets a cut. Please do your online shopping at shop.lrn.fm. There comes a time when you need custom embroidered or screen printed apparel for your business, organization, or a special event. Corporate Casuals has been helping people create great looking logoed apparel for over 25 years. They can produce a single piece or thousands using name brand apparel like Nike, Patagonia, Adidas, and Hanes. Create your logo in their online embroidery design studio or upload your existing logo and they'll turn it into embroidery. Go to corporatecasuals.com/FTL and include FTL in the order notes and save 5% on your order.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
And welcome back to the Rebel Love Show. This is your Rebel Mistress. Before we left, I said we were going to bring it back with my first journey through Star Wars.
It's been an epic journey too, by
and also one of my friends is actually going through the same journey. I think she's she's watching it in a different order too, so it'll be
the order that I had you watch it, I think is probably the best order for any Star Wars newbie to ever watch Star Wars.
Okay. I disagree with you? I really don't think it was all of that. I don't know.
The order or the movie?
The order. I don't know.
Okay, for those listening at home,
I wouldn't have cared if I watched it the other way around. I don't feel like it would have made a difference. All right. Like, so for your theory, I feel like you really wanted to watch one.
Okay, yes, we shouldn't have watched one. So
no, I liked it. I liked watching all of them.
I watched one just because I wanted to watch one because of the whole Jar Jar Binks theory that Jar Jar Binks is a new Sith Lord.
Okay, can we pause?
Such a lie.
I don't even understand. Like, he was in one fight scene, and you were hyping it up like he was just like some master of combat. He was in one fight scene in which I seen him jump.
Yeah.
And then the whole Congress thing. I don't know. But anyway, let's start from the beginning. So you had me watch it in the machete order, which is which one first?
So the machete order, the way that goes is basically you start with, you know, the classics. So you start with A New Hope. All right. Episode 4, you learn who Luke Skywalker is. You see Obi-Wan get killed by Darth Vader. They blow up the Death Star, blah, blah, blah. Then you go to Empire Strikes Back, which is by far the best Star Wars movie out there, hands down, in my opinion. I love the fact that they basically lose. It's great.
I like 2 the best.
2. Like episode 2?
Episode
Attack of the Clones, or the second movie you watched?
Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Okay. So we'll get to that. But Empire Strikes Back, she finds out Luke Skywalker is Darth Vader's son.
Okay, can we freeze on 2? So before I found out Luke Skywalker is the son, like, first of all, people spoiled it for him. Not up until
so
this
hard
point.
To fit
so 2, I hadn't had any spoil. Wait, which one are we talking about? Empire Strikes Back?
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back.
Which is episode...
That's episode 5.
See, these numbers are confusing. So episode 5 was good. I found out Luke was I didn't know about the whole hands being chopped off thing. And I didn't really have all my Star Wars terminology. So I didn't really... Like, it was good. Empire Strikes Back was good. It just left me like, I don't understand. And I didn't really like the ending. The whole award ceremony thing.
Award ceremony?
When they blow up the Death Star.
Oh yeah, you're talking about New Hope. Yes, I thought that was a little ridiculous where they have them walk all the way up after they blew up the Death Star to put medals on their chest. It just seemed a little ridiculous and drawn out. I agree. I was not a fan of that scene.
It's not my fave.
But that's not Empire Strikes
Back.
But Empire Strikes Back, Boba Fett takes Han Solo and Kryptonite. Oh my god. I can't even think of the name.
I like the fact that we found out.
Carbonate.
I've always heard the line like, Luke, I am your father. But I knew they had mind control over people. So I thought he was like that wasn't true or something. And I don't know what I expected Star Wars to be. I didn't have any expectations. Like, I heard it. I knew the basics. I knew Luke Skywalker, Leia, Darth Vader. And Darth Vader's famous line is, Luke, I am your father. But I didn't know. Then one never said if that was true or not. You know, he's evil.
Well, with the machete order, this is why I like it, because you get to really understand who Darth Vader is as a first-time watcher. So you get to that point where he tells Luke that he's his father. You're trying to figure out, why did he want to kill Obi-Wan? Like, what does all this mean?
I mean, it was good, but I mean, Bang 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 would have been good too. Like, if I would have seen Darth Vader as a boy, an adult, and turn into an evil person.
That's why
and then that's why you don't know what's gonna happen when after he blows up the Death Star and they get their little sissy award ceremony and everything, and tells him he's his father. Like, you don't know what's gonna happen after that. And I would have liked to see like the perils. Like, do I see any little bit of Anakin in Darth Vader? Like, because they would have been back to back, so I could have compared the two, but it was kind of a gap. Like, so I seen Darth Vader and I seen Anakin, but I seen Darth Vader first, and I was like, I really like Anakin. Why is he such a dick?
I didn't really care for Anakin all that much.
I liked him so much. He had a lot of teenage angst, but I was rooting for him.
A little bit too much.
But I thought he could like let it go. Like, Luke, I won't fight you, father. I don't know. I was rooting for him. And then he was doing all of this for his pregnant wife, and I understood. I understood. And then he like fucking like strangles her and throws her to the ground.
Because he thought that Padme betrayed him, which it looked like it did, to be honest. And she didn't really say that wasn't the case, and Obi-Wan didn't say that wasn't the case either. She
said, you're going down a path I cannot follow. Which is, I thought, was the fairest thing she could say, because she loves him to death.
But when Obi-Wan walked off the ship, she didn't know that Obi-Wan was on the ship. And Obi-Wan knew that. And Obi-Wan played his emotions against her so that he would fight him. because he came there to kill him to begin with. He was using his emotions against him. Then, that's what the Jedi do. That's what the Jedi do. They're good at playing each other's emotions just as much as a Sith.
That's fair enough. Like, I feel like that's fair. Maybe he was trying to make him realize the thing he's fighting for, he's gonna lose if he turns to the dark side. So
it's basically going to be exactly what the Jedi were doing from the beginning, protecting the Sith Lord because they're too blind to the fact that the head of the government is the Sith.
Okay, if we were to go into the government right now, the whole government in every single movie, like the one thing I noticed. Okay, first of all,
it's the same government.
It's the same government on all sides. The same government creating this war. To get power, and it was just so easy to see. But I was like, how come the Jedi don't see this? They're like protector of the universe, and they're just on here getting played like little bitches. And that is the other thing I didn't like. I already knew they were getting played. Every move they make, I saw like how they could have just thought a little bit more and made a different move. Like it all went wrong in one spot, and that was Jar Jar Binks' fault.
It was Jar Jar Binks' fault the Jedi Order was completely destroyed.
Kind of. It was Jar Jar Binks who decided to grant emergency powers to the Chancellor. And after that...
Because he's also he's working as a Sith. He is
exactly.
Or the Sith Lord himself.
If the Senate never appointed him Chancellor or waited a bit or something, they basically gave him... He's already orchestrating everything. And now they've given him all the power in which he will never give back. And then he was like, oh, and then in the next movie, they're like, oh, yeah, we granted the Chancellor emergency powers, and his term has been up, and he's like still isn't leaving. And they're like, the people wanted him to stay longer. I'm just like, is this for real? Yeah. Like, it's just so much tyranny, and the Jedi are doing nothing. Like the fact that he's still staying on, and they run a term. And he's like extending that term.
Not only that, like literally this Sith
you're
Lord,
a Jedi. Like you don't have any common sense.
Creates a huge war just to give him more power and use the Jedi as
V for
pawns
Vendetta. It's like V for Vendetta all over again.
Yeah, but the Jedi should have saw that coming, and they didn't.
Yeah,
they're defending it. They're defending it instead of attacking it.
More on Star Wars when we come back.
If the Jedi defended freedom, they wouldn't defend the Chancellor.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website, fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper, FPP News.
The Jedi are huge status.
.cc. Find FPP online.
But
FPP.
in their defense, I don't know.
That's FPP.
If they're representing the people and that's their common interest is peace.
On free
and how come like they didn't see this? Like the day that the Chancellor did not leave office when his term was up, the day he did that, it should have been over for the Jedi. Wait, let's talk more when we come on the show.
Yeah, we can. We still haven't talked about the full order.
Yeah, no. Jump back to the order.
Yeah.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left.
But there is a lot of
paradigm.
libertarian.
I heard your show by chance on
Like,
Saturday night.
you can see it in it.
I went on
You
doing
know?
the Free State Project and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you get Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Cryptocurrency and peer-to-peer tech developments happen fast.
I have yet to
Stay in
hear
the
our
loop
commercial
with the
yet.
Daily Decrypt, a new video channel and podcast that will keep you on top of the latest innovations in crypto finance, security, networking, transportation, and gadgetry like drones and 3D printers. Subscribe to the Daily Decrypt on YouTube and SoundCloud and be an early adopter of the future. The Daily Decrypt.
I'll have to check that out. I wonder if it's any good.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm.
Yeah, they made up.
It's all free. So sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
Every once in a while, you get information that's worth changing your life for. This is one such time. You can save up to and beyond 25% on all purchases at Amazon. You probably heard of Bitcoin and just not thought much about it. You certainly know that you can get competitive pricing at Amazon, but now you can get a 25% discount on nearly everything you need to live. I've just given you a huge raise, and all you have to do is claim it. You go to saveitpurse.com and open an account. Do this right now. Don't wait.
Topher, yeah, I know he's not a fan. I heard his thing on his show about it. I actually talked to him about it. Explained that that's from a previous episode, so I'm playing past archive and stuff. He actually really said he didn't care. I offered to remove it, and he says he was cool with it. So but I'm just saying I actually haven't heard on LRN yet.
We'll probably be making a new one soon.
Yeah.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at lrn.fm.
And welcome back to the Rebel Love Show. If you're listening to this as a podcast, make sure you check out lrn.fm. We're streaming there live every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. We also stream live on IPMNation and rebelloveshow.com. You can even go to rebelloveshow.com, click live, and you can watch the live studio cam, and we got the LRN chat embedded right on there, so you can interact with us in the chat. And we were talking about how my Rebel Mistress here, she had just experienced Star Wars for the first time. She'd never been exposed to it growing up. And I had her watch Star Wars in the machete order. So basically, it kind of gives like the hero's journey of Darth Vader. So it starts with 4 and 5. It sets up it gives you the classics, what everyone loves, and then instead of going to 6 and then 1, 2, 3, you go all the way back, technically to 2, but we went back to 1 because I just wanted to have her watch all of it. So we went all the way back to 1. After she found out that Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father, we go through 1. All the way through 2 and 3, find out the whole love story with Padme, what happened with Obi-Wan, who Darth Sidious is, who, by the way, kicked ass in every single fight scene he was in. Like, he owned everything.
Yeah, the Jedi went out like little bitches.
Yeah, they horrible fighters.
I didn't get that, except for the old little troll. He was the only
Yoda?
Yeah, he was
the old little troll Yoda. You gotta
like,
show a little bit more respect for Yoda. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Yoda, in all honesty, Yoda was very weak. That's why he ended up living in like a little tiny hut on Dagobah while the Emperors control the whole goddamn galaxy.
Well, he was weak. He was like 900 years old.
There's no excuse. He's Yoda. He should have been able to. He should have been able to stop
ass
this.
For his age.
For his age, sure, but I mean, Darth Sidious was just tearing people up left and right. Like, he took power because it's a Game of Thrones. He took the power. No one stopped him. Nobody stopped him.
He took the power because he could. Once he had it and he came out, he was like, he didn't even try to hide anymore. He was like, yeah, fuck you. I'm a Sith, motherfucker. Like, what are you going to do about it? And the answer was nothing, apparently. And like,
pretty
that's
much
how they solved it.
Yeah, literally. He wiped out the entire Jedi Order after they were aiding and abetting him for the longest time, not even knowing that they were doing so. And when the Jedi ceased to serve a purpose to him, he's like, yeah, you're done. I don't need you anymore.
I don't understand why they had to kill the children.
Because look, you know what? It's a tactical strike. I understand from a Sith point of view, he had to do what he had to do. I don't agree with it. I wouldn't be a Sith like that either, though. I wouldn't be that kind of Sith.
He had to do what he had
like
to
a Death
do.
Star.
Murdered all the
because
children.
all those they
even
would come
President
back.
Snow's guards were like, "You're trying to barricade yourself
like
and
he-
children." Like,
first
I
off-
think he's crossed the line. And this is a man who created hybrids out of people's DNA and had them attack them in sewer tunnels. Like, he even said, "No,
Yeah,
you
but
know
we're
what?
not talking about like a whole lot.
Barricading
of children. We're just
myself
talking
with
about
children.
Jedi. A Jedi's a
Jedi
Jedi.
children.
Jedi, yeah.
Yes, children.
I guess he should have done the more humanitarian thing and
Not murder a bunch of
not
children.
murder them and capture them and brainwash them to be Sith. And then we
Yeah.
have an army of
Yeah.
Sith kids.
I would actually prefer that.
Yeah.
And then if they
maybe
tried
that's a
to
step
run
too
away,
far.
then they run away. But like
Darth
he had
Vader
to
could have
like
been
kill
like
all of them.
Darth
Like,
Vader could have been their Yoda.
yeah, Darth Vader could have been their Yoda.
Yeah.
They're dumb. See, Sith
Well,
are-
okay.
maybe we should take over the world. This is what I'm coming to.
Well, I mean, it seems like but in Star Wars, like the Sith, like they are so much smarter. They planned everything out.
Yeah.
A long.
This guy-
everything was planned from like.
Okay, the clones.
beginning.
Can we talk about the clones? I felt like I'm obsessed with clones. I don't know if anyone knows, but I watched this show about human cloning called Orphan Black, which I love. It's a show about self-aware clones and like just they're in today's world. And they found out they were being cloned by this company who had patented their genetic material and ran by a bunch of different super PACs. It's super weird and good. And so when I seen like this planet of people making clones, this is how unaware I am of Star Wars. I did not know that those stormtroopers were humans. I thought they were a machine.
Yeah, I've never heard anyone think that the stormtroopers were robots.
I thought they were robots because I didn't understand that they were and like every time you kill one of them, it's not like they bleed. And I don't remember seeing anyone like just take their helmet off. And you pointed out the fact that they impersonate the stormtroopers, but I thought they just put on their body armor, kind of like in Doctor Who. If you've ever seen Doctor Who, when Clara gets inside the dialect and she can use its functions because it like I don't know. I thought it was maybe one of those type things. But no, they're a bunch of fucking clones who no one knows who created. Someone hijacked some guys who was dead for like a century, told this like planet to make a bunch of human clones for upcoming war that hadn't happened yet.
Yeah,
I
well, it was
found
a
that
war
the
he
most
had planned out.
creepiest thing.
He planned out the entire war 10 years earlier when he was still just a senator. He planned out becoming chancellor and using those soldiers. Like he planned that out. And how long was that before that? Technically, if he planned it out, like he planned out a lot. But yeah, it's
no, but like that makes him. You're right. Like the Sith are so much smarter, and in that case, it is like Game of Thrones. If you can overthrow that kind of government, like that, like it's whoever has the most power wins. And they really had no defenses. They'll
None at
kill like none at all. Like they weren't even aware. And the Sith were planning this 10 years in advance, making thousands and millions of human clones. Like that's weird. Like no.
Well, they need an army, and what better way to
If we
create an army
came
than
across
to-
this state we never knew about and we walked to the state and they say, "Oh hi, we've been waiting for you to come. You're a senator, right?"
I love
and then you're like, yeah, sure. And then they take you to the fucking lab where they have a million little babies, and they say, "Yeah, these are the clones you ordered.
Well,
we're preparing
and
them for the
Jedi
war."
And Obi-Wan and everyone, and like Yoda and everyone else, they just like, well, we need them. We're going to war.
They're like,
okay, like not even questioning
Yeah,
really where
that
they
was
came
really
from
stupid.
or why they're there to begin with.
I felt like that was stupid. Like, is that the Jedi's problem? They're just like blindly trusting. I guess that's a status for you. Like they're like, yeah, the state knows what's best. Like if they created these clones,
Well, they're
I
servants
don't
of
know.
the Republic.
I don't know. I just feel like you don't ask questions. You should question when a million human clones like pop up at your door. Like that is something you should question and you should investigate thoroughly before you're like, okay, let's use these clones and start a war. if it's that easy for war, which it pretty much is, because we can go into Obama right now and his like state of his address to people last night, where he's begging to.
That he interrupted your favorite television show.
He interrupted Once Upon a Time to
beg people to tell Congress to give
to
him
let
the
him
ability
have to go to war with ISIS.
legitimate or whatever that really means use of force or
that he's already using.
Yeah, he's already bombing places left and right with drones and arming ISIS and all that jazz. But he needs to get more help.
Yeah. If only he was a Sith. Like, if only he had, thought of these, like, got these group of people 10 years ago and said, hey.
Maybe this is all of a plan, building up all this, like, terrorist actions.
Yeah. I mean, V for Vendetta pointed it out, like, perfectly. I feel like Star Wars kind of replicated it, but it is kind of the same thought. The government launching, like, this biological warfare against its own people, so that it caused chaos, and then out of that chaos it gives, like, they turn to this person for power, and then they keep power because they're like, oh, he's a savior. And it was like that with the Chancellor, and I'm like, it's just so easy. But you're right, Jar Jar Binks initiated it all. He
waved his hands around. He could be a Sith. He could be the new Sith Lord Kylo Ren.
Literally,
he convinced the entire
one different
Senate.
move, the whole Star Wars movie could have went differently. Okay, back to my spoilers. So I'm dumb. I don't know anything. Oh, where when we come back? Star Wars.
May the Force be with you.
Incest. What was that?
Yeah. A lot of incest in Star Wars.
Who knew?
Who knew?
Money, power, and respect are all yours at creditsuccesssecretsrevealed.com. Be seen as an industry leader. You can do it. The last application you filled out when it was time to hit submit, did your nerves spike? You didn't get the approval you seek, but there's a better way. We teach you exactly what to place into the right systems, the right way, the first time, so you get approved.
I can't wait to see Star Wars.
$100,000 in instant business credit. Many people will get cash on the spot. Use those two tools in your new corporate credit engine so you can walk into the bank and get your project funded today. It's all about today at creditsuccesssecretsrevealed.com. Credit Success Secrets Revealed is explosive and ignites instant results. Dial 1-800-707-8719.
I don't know if it's stupid.
That's 1-800-707-8719.
You have to wonder if the question is stupid.
1-800-707-8719. Or just go to creditsuccesssecretsrevealed.com.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the new Healing Our World is a great gift this Christmas for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
Understanding your credit score is the first step towards managing and improving it. This is Charlie Sundstrom with your Van Dyke Mortgage Minute. The most influential component of your credit score is your payment history. Almost equally as important is the amount you owe on credit accounts. Also impacting your score, but to a lesser degree, are the length of time you've utilized your credit, the number of new accounts, credit inquiries, and your various types of credit accounts. To help achieve or maintain a healthy credit score, have a system set up to assure your bills are always paid on time. Don't max out your cards. It's better to have a high credit limit with a low balance. Never close old accounts. The age of these can actually help your credit score. But don't be afraid to use your credit. You need several accounts in order to have a credit score. Just keep the corresponding payments within your means. For your mortgage pre-approval and refi needs, start by visiting VanDykeMortgage.com.
Corporate NMLS 3035. Van Dyke Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Charlie Sundstrom, NMLS 134251.
The three most important things you can do for LRN.FM are 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. As a pioneer of the e-commerce movement, Overstock.com is proud to be the first major retailer to accept Bitcoin. Overstock was the first because Patrick Byrne, Overstock CEO and founder, firmly believes in personal freedom and cryptocurrency. Over the past 16 years, Overstock has furnished over 18 million homes with a diverse line of products to suit everyone's unique styles and preferences. Support Overstock and freedom of choice while enjoying free shipping on orders of 0.211 Bitcoin or more.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
And welcome back to the Rebel Love Show. Before we left, we were talking about Star Wars. And if you're going to be in Manchester on Christmas, come with us. We're going to watch Star Wars at about 3 o'clock. And then after, we're going to go get Chinese food. America. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, come celebrate with us. So before we left, we are talking about kind of my journey through Star Wars and how naive I was. Like I didn't know anything. I didn't know Luke's arm got chopped off. I didn't know Darth Vader was his actual dad. Like I thought, this is what I thought as far as the love story goes. I thought Luke and Leia had the love story. And they were gonna be like the main characters.
By the way, I was so upset that got ruined for you.
Yeah,
I was trying so hard to keep that on the hush hush. I was trying so hard to stop talking. Everyone stop.
I was like, I didn't know there was a rivalry between Luke and Han Solo. And then I thought maybe that's what it'd be like. Leia would have to choose between Luke and Han. She chooses Luke, and they live happily ever after because Han's just like the space cowboy bad boy. I don't know. So I thought maybe it was going to be something like that. And I hadn't seen, which movie was that when we find out?
Oh, the
2. I didn't see episode 2 yet. And we're at dinner right before our friend DJ Aurelius goes on. And then
everyone starts talking about Star Wars.
They started talking about Star Wars. And our friend Brian, actually, he was like, I was like, yeah, Luke and Leia. And then he's like, what are you talking about? They're sister and brother. I'm like, what?
I tried so hard to get people not to say that.
I was like, what? They're twins? Like,
you have no idea how many times I've almost spilled the beans on so much different plot twists.
I was so upset.
I think I did a couple of times, but at that point I didn't think you were paying attention.
I was so upset that they spilled that for me because first of all, I love babies and twins. Like I probably would have cried if I was like, oh no, oh my god. But I mean, now that I knew they were sister and brother, I was like, okay, so when are they gonna find out? Like, how is everyone gonna find out that they're sister and brother? So that was kind of my exciting point, just waiting for Luke to find out that Leia is his sister, and then when he does find out through Obi-Wan's ghost, and then I'm like, oh yes, when is he gonna tell Leia? And then I'm like, I thought she was gonna become a Jedi and go through Jedi training, but that never happened. I was disappointed in the ending, but I guess there's gonna be a new movie. So
yeah, I mean, one thing that when you're talking about talking to the people that have already died and whatnot, one thing I hated about Star Wars was how did Anakin make it past the afterlife stuff? Hell. Yeah, why did
Anakin not burning in hell?
Being responsible for the deaths of billions. All right, and well, who knows? That's probably maybe not as bad as what the Jedi were
Well,
doing,
that really wasn't Anakin. So picture the ghost. The ghost was Anakin.
True, it was, but at the same time, it's like it just doesn't seem.
And he saved his son. So
Wow, he
forgiveness.
helped save his son. Okay, but he also helped murder like billions of people. You know, but yeah, he did one good thing right
Anakin
before he
didn't
died.
do that. Okay, so let's talk about the parallels between good and bad, because I feel like on my blog I wrote is morality conscious. I went and I talked a lot about like this dark side, but this portrayal of the dark side was like extreme, and it was like people physically started changing once they embraced it.
The darker they get, the more you can see the darkness in them.
Yeah, and I felt like that was like deep, kind of, because you can actually like see this evil and you recognize it and you know it's becoming. So at first Anakin had this teenage angst, and then the teenage angst turned into like, no, I'll just rule the world. What do you mean? Like everything, like, and it was just kind of like this bloodthirsty lust when they didn't show him as that person at first. I was really sad, but it's what you said. He was seduced by the dark side. He already had that in him, and he gave up to that temptation. So it was his choice, and that's the part of it I do like, because at the end of the day, it is your choice. You know, it's your choice to be good or to be bad, or to make good or right or wrong decisions based off what you feel. And I felt like Luke really was selfless, and so I don't really understand why everyone's saying he's evil. And that was the other thing.
The reason why people think that he is the new Sith Lord in the new movie is because
people think Luke's the new Sith Lord.
That he's Kylo Ren or whoever the other Sith may or may be in the new movie. So that's the theory.
Wait, what's the theory? Why is Luke? Because he disobeyed that.
Well, yeah, multiple reasons. In Empire Strikes Back, he disobeys not only Yoda, but he also disobeys Obi-Wan coming back from the afterlife, you know, and saying, no, I want to go, you know, it's the right thing to do, go save his friends. He wasn't ready.
But how
he wasn't
wasn't
prepared enough yet to go after Darth Vader.
They didn't explain that enough. Because how wasn't he like, what was he? So Anakin can kill a bunch of fucking kids, and like he's like looked down upon forever. But Luke can't even go save his friends, and he's supposed to let them die, and that's fine. So I don't get how they're like trading one life for another. Like either life is precious.
He wasn't prepared enough with the Force to be dissuaded from the dark side.
Well, they were wrong. He came back.
Yeah, but
There's
he came back. But in all
episode
honesty, well, why are the Sith still back? So, for example, the fact that the Empire still exists in the new movies.
I don't understand that. I want to know how the Empire still exists.
Me too. I'm trying
Binks,
not to read any like fan fiction or like what people think may happen. I'm trying to go in with like as much no knowledge as possible.
Jar Jar Binks was in charge of the Senate. I remember Lisa Free.
Yeah, but the Senate was dissolved back in Episode 4, New Hope. It was in the very beginning of the movie where when Princess Leia was captured by Darth Vader, they were having a conversation. Darth Vader was telling her that the Senate's been disbanded. No, I'm sorry. He was telling that to a general in that movie.
Oh,
but
yeah. I want to watch that.
Darth Sidious, the Emperor, disbanded the Senate.
See, and that's the other thing about your machete order, because like that episode I watched first, so it's like
it seems like a long time ago. See, I love the machete order because you go from where Darth Sidious actually, instead of being behind the scenes taking control, he literally comes out of the closet and like, yeah, I am the Sith Lord, bitch, and I'm already in control. And then you jump to like the next movie you see him in. He's he's going to the Death Star to be in front of Luke Skywalker, a plan that he's already had in place for like the last 30 years.
Yeah. Did he really die when he like was electrocuted and fell down the shaft? I was like, I need to see someone's dead body.
Yes, I would imagine that's the case. They don't actually show his body. You are correct, but I'm 99% sure Darth Sidious is dead.
Okay. Well, I mean, Leia could be the new Sith Lord.
She could be, but I think there's a trailer that showed her hugging Han.
Okay, but if this movie takes place like 30 years after.
It takes a generation after.
Luke and Leia, I mean, they probably had kids.
Well, Han and Leia probably had kids.
Yeah, they both probably have kids.
So yeah, one of those kids might be one of the people that have the Force.
And they're supposedly the last Jedi, so I get that. Like,
well, no, not Leia. Luke's technically not the last. Leia is, but
I mean, I watched one recently, so I mean, I like a lot of I have been looking at a few theories, and one of them that I remember that I couldn't get over is they asked who was Anakin's father, and she said she don't know. It just happened. And I was like, so Anakin's Jesus. Like, I made the joke.
Well,
and then they go on and they talk about this guy even more throughout the shows, how he's the most powerful Sith he could even like make alive.
Well, that's the thing. There's a moment where Darth Sidious mentions that to Anakin, but that wasn't correlated to being Anakin's father. It's possible that Sith Lord was.
But if he can create life and this lady just happened to be pregnant, I don't know. It's a bit of a.
Well, it's also one thing. Also, I never really understood is like how can the Jedi think they were so great that they got wiped out by 2 Sith?
Yeah,
like their entire order.
Their entire order
got wiped out by 2 Sith.
But again, they should have never. See, little decisions. They should have never. The Senate never should have granted the Chancellor power. They should have never used those clones. They should have investigated because the clones were the death of them. The clones really are what like ended up killing them.
Yeah.
At the end, he gave an order. Clones turned, killed him dead.
Yep.
Like that's where they fucked up. I feel like it was just a lot of stupidity and just blind trust in the state, man.
They're blindly following orders until they were executed and they weren't needed anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is what the Jedi did. They were that blinded that 2 Sith, really 1 Sith, was able to orchestrate all this in front of their face where they were working for him as a pawn, you know. And you know, honestly, like, yeah, the Sith, don't get me wrong, the Sith are evil in the movies, but the Jedi blindly following and doing whatever they can to help that is just as bad too.
Yeah. Don't be sheep. When
be
we
a
come
Sith,
back.
but not as bad as Darth Vader.
No, be a Jedi, just not as dumb.
Be a Sith, but a kind, loving Sith.
Be a Jedi. Just don't be a sheep.
I want to go.
Buying a burger might start taking a bite out of your wallet. Meat prices skyrocketed this week after the place that makes the meat revealed that the cow smashing machine is all beefed up.
This machine has beef way up in it. The basher, the meat collector, even the main meat hole, all of it. Lousy with beef.
The cow smashing machine is an integral part of the meat making process, taking whole big cows into one end with all different meats falling out the other. Supermarket chains warn that unless we start smashing cows again soon, we could face a serious beef shortage. The beef industry is working hard to unclog the cow smasher, but says it could take several days or even weeks to scoop all the beef that's crammed up in there. Until it's fixed, meat-hungry Americans can take solace in the fact that the chicken grinder is working at full capacity, just completely tearing up all those chickens, and the pig machine is porking out hardcore. Up next, bluesmen find a rising trend of their babies done leaving on that their old devil train.
This is the Onion News Network.
This is your Roberts and Roberts Brokerage Daily Precious Metals Update. In early trading Tuesday, gold is up $6 at $1,077 per ounce. Silver is 4 cents lower at $14.29 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at $396 US. We still have plenty of 2015 US Mint silver and gold eagle coins available. To get yours now, give Roberts and Roberts a call at 800-874-9760 or shop online at rrbi.co.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate it 5 stars, then share the link on social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm. That's apps.lrn.fm.
More Rebel Love Show is next, live after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keenan, the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, December 8th, 2015. Silver is trading at $14.29 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,073 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $395. Antiwar.com reports U.S. warplanes attacked the Syrian village of Al-Khan on Monday, according to the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, killing at least 36 people, all of them labeled civilians. Over a dozen other civilians are missing, and the toll is likely to rise. Though Al-Khan is a village held by the Islamic State, the Syrian Observatory pointed out that the Islamic State does not actually have any forces in the village itself, instead having its forces on the outskirts. The airstrikes, however, hit the center of the village, which was why everyone hit was civilian. The U.S. offered no comments on the attack itself, but did say they intended to conduct a credibility assessment to determine whether the civilian deaths are worth looking into. Of the massive civilian toll in the U.S. air war, CENTCOM has admitted to virtually none of the killings, indeed refusing to investigate most of the reports on the ground that they did not trust the sources. This was the second scandal related to a U.S. attack on Syria in less than 24 hours, as a previous U.S. airstrike hit an airbase in Deir ez-Zor province, killing at least 3 Syrian troops and wounding 13 others. The Pentagon has claimed they think Russia actually launched the strike. You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates, like Namecheap and Amazon, at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. That's shop.fppradio.com. UPI reports Venezuela's Democratic Unity Roundtable, or MUD, opposition coalition defeated the ruling Socialist Party in parliamentary elections widely considered a referendum on President Nicolas Maduro. Venezuela's National Electoral Council, or CNE, announced early Monday the MUD won 99 seats in the country's National Assembly, a simple majority. Maduro's ruling United Socialist Party of Venezuela, or PSUV, won 46 seats in the 167-seat unicameral parliament. Another 22 seats have yet to be declared, meaning the MUD has a strong chance of winning a qualified majority, or supermajority, if it acquires the 111 seats needed. National Assembly members are elected to 5-year terms, and voter turnout was nearly 75%, the highest for parliamentary elections in decades. Both the PSUV and the MUD held Venezuela's successful electoral process and said any irregularities in the polls were not representative of the election as a whole. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports New York City has agreed to pay a police officer more than $280,000 to settle his lawsuit, alleging he was the victim of retaliation for complaining about an illegal arrest quota in his precinct, according to court papers filed on Monday. Officer Craig Mathias sued the city and its police department in 2012, asserting he was punished for telling his superiors in the Bronx that the quota had led to unjustified street stops and arrests. The settlement, in which the city did not admit wrongdoing, came 10 months after a U.S. appeals court reinstated the lawsuit. The Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in New York reversed an earlier lower court decision dismissing the case, saying the comments by Matthews regarding the alleged quota were protected by the First Amendment guarantee of freedom of speech. The lawsuit claimed Matthews, who had been with the force for 17 years, was given punitive assignments, denied overtime, and harassed as a result of his whistleblowing. Christopher Dunn of the New York Civil Liberties Union, who represented Matthews, said this settlement completely vindicates Officer Matthews, who had the courage to speak out about illegal police quotas and suffered serious retaliation for having done so. A spokesman for the city's law department said settlement of this 2012 case was in the city's best interest. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
I think it's your turn to bring it back.
This is the Onion Week in Review. A report
wanna
by
say my
Stanford
final
University
prediction
researchers
for
released
7.
Thursday found that Americans spend 90% of their waking hours staring at glowing rectangles. Researchers identified more than 30 varieties
wanna
of
come back
iridescent
to Star Wars
rectangles,
still?
ranging from
I
personal
just
and
want to
work
Predictions
close.
for
Yeah, we
7.
didn't. I want to
and
close
those
it
that
out.
can fit
and
right
Can
in one
you
spot.
back a little bit?
From the moment Americans wake up, they're captivated
Move the
by
table
these
down.
bright, pulsing
I
rectangles.
don't understand why it's so like
In
that.
fact, if you look at the data,
Like
it's hard to find a single minute when the
It's 'cause
public
we're
isn't
like
captivated by these. Excuse me.
I guess we can just leave it on 8. That way
I'm
we
sorry,
can
where
see. Let me see.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even. No one cares if my hair disappears a
That's
little.
true.
And in other news, a trail of
big of a
rose
deal.
petals leads a wife to a sink full of dishes. Prince Fielder reports to spring training exactly the right amount overweight, and a local yard sale reeks of divorce.
Bring it.
If you don't hear the sound of my voice the
Oh,
same
is it
time next
my
week,
turn?
alert my family and then visit theonion.com/newsbeat.
And welcome back to the Rebel Love Show, the Jedi / Sith.
What's your
version
Sith
of it.
name?
My Sith. Oh man, that's a good one. I don't know.
Darth Mathias.
No. It wouldn't be anything like that. It'd be like I have no idea. I've never even thought of my Sith name. It'd just be my name. Just be Rob.
I don't like the Sith.
Why? What's your beef with the Sith? Let me ask you that question. Why would you say you're a Jedi? I mean, the Jedi just
feel
blindly
like the
follow
only-
orders, and they can't even love. They can't even love. They can't have possessions. They can't do anything.
I feel like the only different, like, okay, yes, the Jedi are like dirty hippies. Like, I don't agree with that. And the Sith, they don't have to be dirty hippies, but they just have to be evil.
No, they don't have to be evil.
Yeah, they have to they don't have to like follow
Look.
orders, but it's all about power. And really,
Darth
the only
Sidious
difference
brought
was
peace to the galaxy. He ended the Clone Wars.
they started.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
Okay, and like,
But it was all for peace.
The Clone Wars that he started, and that was dumb on the Jedi. I get that, but the whole lure to the dark side is just like the unrestricted use of magic. I mean, the Force, not magic. The
Same
unrestricted,
difference.
yeah, same difference. The unrestricted use of the Force, which I understand. Yes, like they should not tell you how you can and can't use the Force, but I don't feel like their teachings were wrong. They were teaching them to not use like personal gain, to kind of have empathy, and death is a part of life, and that's a healthy part of accepting that death is a part of life. Because if you can't accept that, like, you can't make logical decisions. And Darth Vader, really, his lure to the Sith is because he really, really wanted the people around him not to die. He didn't want death anymore. And those were the right intentions, definitely. But trying to bring he took it one step farther. It's like, yes, okay, you don't want people to die, but bringing people back to life from the dead or stopping death is not really the healthy thing to do. Like, it's not the healthy thing to like focus on and fantasize about. And I think that was the Jedi's like reasoning for trying to teach to be selfless. I don't think it should be like necessarily you can't have possessions or any of this, but I feel like their teaching wasn't like inherently bad. They just were trying to make him see the world and use the Force for something good and promote peace. And that's really all Anakin wanted, was peace. He just he trusted in the wrong people.
Yeah, well, I mean, he trusts in the same people that he trusts in the Jedi Order. And what were they doing? They did nothing to help him save his mom. They did nothing to, they act as if he was a spy for the Emperor, which he was. But I mean, they didn't include him in anything. They really just
and that was their fault. They treated him like a child. They should have told everyone about the clones. The clones shouldn't have been a secret.
Yeah, I mean, my big thing is with the Jedi and the Sith is like I don't really see much of a difference between the two because they both use power and they both manipulate other they'll manipulate other people with Jedi mind tricks, Sith mind tricks. Like they both do the same thing and they both want power. There's not really a big difference between.
I don't feel like the Jedi want power more than they want. They don't want power.
They're
they
willing
want
to
control.
overthrow the government that they swore to protect, so that they can have control and not the Sith. Like if they took an oath to protect and defend the Republic, they should do so regardless if it's a Sith that's in control. They have a own personal bias of we can't have a Sith running things. You know?
Because the Sith are evil.
Yeah, but they're doing.
And apparently the Sith had ruled before, and they need the oppressive.
Thousands of years.
Yeah,
ago.
and they were oppressive child murderers. So I don't understand.
And meanwhile, the Jedi are allowing slavery left and right. That's a thing that's allowed to happen.
Okay, so it's kind of like my argument for the state and monarchy. I don't think there should be a state. The state is bad. I don't think there should be a state. The state is bad. That's like my argument for both. Like they're both two forms of government, but I don't feel like it's wanting to be a Sith is like something good. I feel like the Jedi were better than the Sith. They're a little bit more naive, and that's just because they're trusting. I don't feel like they were doing anything. They were just super status. Like they're dumb, but just because they're dumb versus being just completely evil. I mean, I feel like I'm going to side with just the
why would you say the Sith
people.
are completely evil? Why would you make that argument?
I feel like they're evil. Their cause is evil. They started a war with like themselves to get control of a nation. Oh, the universe.
Well, the galaxy.
The galaxy, even worse.
Yeah, that's worse. They were fighting themselves, and most of the people that were fighting in it were clones and droids.
Clones are people.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
They're preconditioned mentally just to be soldiers.
Clones are people. They have flesh. They have a mind. Their minds have been manipulated, but they're still clones. And I think it's wrong to clone
But they were
people.
created for that cause.
And that in itself is wrong.
That's wrong.
Yes, you should that's slavery.
Are you
to create humans to be soldiers, to create a human to be a mindless soldier for the intensive purpose of dying for your cause is wrong. Yes. It doesn't matter what part of their DNA you manipulated. If you're
But they were created for that.
Exactly.
It's not like they were stolen and enslaved for it. They were literally created
that is slavery because you didn't give them a choice.
Well,
From the moment
it's
you
not their
created
fault
them.
that they were born into the system, babe.
I don't get. Are you being sarcastic?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't get it.
But no, I mean, they weren't really fighting, the normal populace of the Republic. The vast majority of the fighting were between, the Sith's own people. So what's really the harm in that? He's fighting himself. So I don't really see an issue with it. And on top of that, they did bring peace to the galaxy. Yeah, he had an iron fist bringing it down, but
okay, he didn't bring peace. He created the war that he was bringing peace from. That's not creating peace. It's just a master manipulated plan to get control.
I don't know. He seems to be a good guy. I trust him. That's Anakin. He thought he was a good guy, and he wasn't any politician. According to Anakin. I'm just saying that the Sith aren't all that bad. I think Darth Sidious and Darth Vader took it too far, blowing up planets and shit. But in the grand scheme of things, they're allowed to love. They're allowed to do a lot of different things. And they didn't have to rely on just, owning nothing and following the will of the Emperor, because that's all the Jedi Order did.
I don't get your point. I don't know. I feel like the Jedi were manipulated, and yes, that is very dumb of them. And it took them too long to recognize it, and yes, that is very dumb of them. The Sith ordered a bunch of hits on little children, blew up planets, and with inhabited planets, started a war to devastate their whole galaxy. I
don't know if I devastate the whole galaxy.
They devastated enough to the point where there was chaos so that it could be saved by Captain Save-A-Hole, the person who started the war to begin with.
So much satire with today's world.
Yeah.
Start a war to gain more power. I haven't heard that one before. I haven't seen that take place.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens all the time. It's just funny that the Jedi are made out to be, and that's one thing I hate about normal Star Wars fans. Normal Star Wars fans are always so pro Jedi. They're always so pro like the Force, blah blah blah. I'm sorry, the Jedi for the longest time were the bad guys. Like in the Clone Wars, they're the bad guys, and they're defending this government tyranny over everything until it's too late, and then they figure it out at the very end when they're getting all executed by the Emperor. No, they had it coming. I'm sorry. The Jedi, the victors are the victors for a reason.
I don't know. I feel like you're just looking at things in terms of the government we have today versus the government they had in the beginning.
Well, let's hope Obama doesn't get any Death Stars anytime soon.
Okay,
Or
when we come
Trump.
back. When we come back. My new book.
New book. You gonna play some samples on there?
Mutual aid,
I'm gonna play the retail
and
audio
networking
sample.
organization.
Okay.
At
The dog's
Free Aid,
ridiculous.
we support
Like,
volunteers
first he's
who
like
provide
gnawing on the
first
chair.
aid,
He was
do
good
outreach
for a
to the
while.
public
Then he
about
starts
health and
gnawing
safety,
on the
and we
chair.
bring together medically
Then
skilled freedom
like,
lovers.
wants to
Free
go
Aid is made
gnaw on
possible
that.
by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid
He's like,
kits,
"Why are you so
t-shirts,
mad at
silver
me? I
dime
don't
cards, and
understand.
hoodies.
I'm getting
The Free Aid
jacked.
Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Meme. Visit fr33aid.com.
What if the key to achieving liberty in your lifetime was to move together with others who think like you? Liberty activists are joining the Free State Project, which is over 85% of the way to its goal of 20,000 participants. And they're already making the move to New Hampshire. The successes are piling up and are proving the Free State Project is a real movement and no longer just a great idea. When you're planning your move, consider Keene. Keene is famous for its civil disobedience and non-cooperation, and there's plenty of political opportunity as well. If you're a regular reader of freekeene.com, you know there's a lot going on in Keene. Keene is the liberty media capital of the world, with television, talk radio, and more, all originating here. Though it's more than just activism, with regular social events each week. See what's happening at freekeene.com and get connected with video, audio, free books, a forum, and activist tools you can download and use in your area at freekeene.com. That's freekeene.com. If you can't listen to the Liberty Radio Network's internet streams, free satellite channel, or radio affiliates, no worries. You can listen to LRN.FM from any phone, anywhere. Add this number to your phone. 213-493-0309. It's a long-distance call, so make sure you're familiar with your phone's calling plan. The Liberty Radio Network listen lines are locked into our stream 24 hours a day. Call 213-493-0309. That's 213-493-0309.
Since time began, liberties. Now there's a movie that beams back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you got to keep you and your get intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
DVD, books, music, instruments, periodicals, computers, software, electronics, photo, cell phone, office products, home and garden, bed and bath, furniture, kitchen, pet supplies, automotive, hardware, apparel, shoes, jewelry, grocery, healthcare, sports and outdoors, toys, games, used, and more. It's a department store at your fingertips. Shop.lrn.fm. Get all your shopping done, get a great deal, and a portion of your purchase goes to benefit the Liberty Radio Network when you shop at Amazon via shop.lrn.fm.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
And welcome back to the Rebel Love Show. So if you didn't know, I have been doing some voice acting. I started a little bit after Keen Invention. I went to the tech panel and I heard Stephanie Murphy talk, and she just gave me like a lot of inspiration. And you know what? I was like, I got the studio in my house. I hate my job. I like acting. I'm gonna go for it. So I did a sexy book that mixed the revolution and BDSM. I'm gonna play a sample for you, and if you like it, well, I'll tell you where to go download it, and you can download it for free, and you can support me. It's on audible.com. Here's the sample. BDSM. Revolution leader, deputy leader, dom, sub, seizing political power, climaxing, no sex before marriage, a revolutionary pillar. But God never said no BDSM before marriage. You can have your orgasms, just not your intercourse. And no matter how much you whine like a little girl, we won't violate this principle. And we'll try to give you an earth-shattering orgasm through BDSM. Or maybe we'll make you wear a chastity belt, pussy whiner. Revolutionary babes. Super hotter. BDSM, femme, subs, super hotter. Revolution and BDSM, a potent combination. Combustible, you're gonna explode. Praise the revolution. Elements of erotic stimulation will damn well come with the revolution. You're gonna explode, girl.
That is like the best audiobook commercial I've ever heard, David.
The name of the book is Let's Use Free Speech to Exalt Revolution, BDSM. The author is Andrew Bushard. You can go find this book on www. I don't even know the /. Just go to audible.com.
We'll have the link in the show notes too.
We'll have the link in the notes, and I'll send it probably in the chat right now. But again, that's Let's Use Free Speech to Exalt Revolution, BDSM. The author is Andrew Bushard, narrated by myself, the Rebel Mistress. You can go download it for free on audible.com, or you can just pay for it on audible.com. Support me, and it's a great book. It's a book of poetry. It's about 10 minutes long, very sexy, as you heard from the audio commercial. It gets dirtier. I said Rob.
I was loving her while she was recording it, because I'd be at work and she sent me a Facebook message with like the audio of like, I just finished this one, you know, so I'm listening to it while I'm like doing my sales. I got my little earbuds in. I'm listening to like, you know, your BDSM stuff coming through my earbuds while I'm talking sales to people. It was beautiful.
I mean, I've definitely been pimping this hard, and I'm very proud of it. I really like how it turned out. It's just so much passion and emotion in it. So I think you'll like it too. And I mean, again, it's revolution.
How fitting that is your first audiobook.
Very, very fitting.
Like it's liberty oriented and kink oriented, and like that became your first audiobook.
It's surprising. Actually, this guy he's worked with Daryl Perry for some audiobooks as well. None as kinky.
I know. I was hoping the book that Daryl did about civil disobedience was a kink oriented book, but apparently it's not. I was actually to go download. I would love to hear a civ dis kink audiobook, but apparently
Well, now
that
you
does
have.
not
Yeah,
exist.
this is a Civ Dis kink audio.
How is a Civ Dis?
They talk about some civil disobedience.
Do they?
Yeah, like when you're domineering someone and then they're disobedient.
Yeah, but that's not civil disobedience.
Kind of.
You're not breaking laws by doing it.
I mean, it's just like do things the revolutionary way. I think is like the concept of the book. Like everything you do should be a revolution. Sex, drugs, anarchy. Like if you're for a free like society, you got to free yourself first. And I think that's why this book was just so great. Because BDSM is the ultimate like submission, like of freeing yourself. I know it's like bondage, so how are you free? But like, I mean, I guess you're bonded and it's your choice. You're like in control while you're being tied up or doing the tying. But yeah, it's a fun book. Again, audible.com. Support me. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. If you like revolution, if you like sex, and if you think my voice is sexy, which I think I did a pretty good job.
I thought you did a great job.
I should do some commercials.
That's going to get you a lot
Asking
more
people.
work. Just that book being out, it's going to get you a lot more work.
Yeah, I'm glad it's out. I've already been doing a lot of networking. Who knew this voice acting thing would take off? I actually just did like a PSA for like this German company.
Eventually you're going to be in like commercials where like everywhere you go, like what if you became like commercials for like mass transit, so like everyone in like like in Orlando or whatever would hear you coming over like that headset. Yeah, there you go, like stuff like that, or like
they'd be like, it's too sexy, get that out of here.
Yeah, you need to get into like some big video games to be a voice actor.
Ooh, they do have like video game and apps on the site I do work from.
So how many jobs did you apply for before you got this book? Just out of curiosity, I'm kind of curious what the voice acting world's a little bit like now that you got your feet wet.
I applied to this one and then I got it.
Well, that's like insane to get an offer immediately.
Yeah, I got an offer like immediately, and then that also just happened to me with another book I'll be working on. It's called like. I'll wait till it's out, but
you'll wait till it's
out. I'll wait till it's out till I'm done discussing the offer. I mean, I feel like a lot of it shows me how many people are like replying to the same jobs I am, and it's always like 20 at the like max. Sometimes it's like 30 or 40.
Connected.
Oh, what is that?
That was TeamSpeak. We should be back connected. That was odd.
Okay.
So hopefully it's still going out to LRN because
yeah.
we got disconnected, connected like audio cue in our ears.
I'm sure
Ian
would come on. But yeah, it's like 30, like 12 to 30 is how many people apply for like some of these auditions. And if you get picked, like you can see when someone's listened to your audition, if they liked it and if their favorite did it. Or whatever, and then that's like a good indication. With the commercials and stuff, it's been like I try to apply to a lot of them today, and so far just like through every week, and so far I've only gotten one, but no commercial pays like less than like $100 per like hour or whatever.
I mean, if you get like two of those a day or whatnot, that's just gotta do like one a day, just one commercial a day. We'll be rolling, babe.
Well,
you can be my producer. You can just let me be me. I can quit my job. You can be my sugar mama.
Please. Anyway, so I mean, and you're not my. You implied that you're my sugar daddy.
Wait. So what if it changes places where you're making like double what I make? All right.
Yeah, and then if you want to quit your job, then you can. But you love your job, babe.
Not that much. If I could quit my job and live the life of luxury, I want to do it.
Baby, you gotta have a backup plan.
Yeah, you're my backup.
Go download my book. Let's use free speech to exalt revolution. BDSM.
Phone records, financial and location data, Prism, Tempora, X-Keyscore, Boundless Informant. Hey, y'all, Scott Horton here for offnow.org. Now, here's the deal. Due to the Snowden revelations, we have a great opportunity for a short period of time to get some real rollback of the national surveillance state. Now, they're already trying to tire us by introducing fake reforms in the Congress. And the courts, they betrayed their sworn oaths to the Constitution and Bill of Rights again and again. There's no way to be trusted to stop the abuses for us. We've got to do it ourselves. How? We nullify it at the state level. It's still not easy. The Off Now project of the 10th Amendment Center has gotten off to a great start. I mean it. There's real reason to be optimistic here. They've gotten their model legislation introduced all over the place, in state after state. I've lost count, more than a dozen. You're always wondering, yeah, but what can we do? Here's something important, something that can work if we do the work. Get started cutting off the NSA support in your state. Go to offnow.org.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself.
No,
it called to me like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
If there was a place that liberty-minded people had been elected to political positions and were rolling back government, would you move there? If freedom lovers had secured a 20% voting block and can veto most bad bills, would you move? Well, the time has come to sign the pledge at freestateproject.org. These things have happened in New Hampshire, and you can join us and help. freestateproject.org. Sign up now at freestateproject.org.
Did you know you can listen to
So we going into
LRN.FM
Rick and
via our
Morty bit?
free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country.
Yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market, making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and
have to sign up for something.
Of these ideas. There's a lot of
Did you do
kind
this?
of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons
I don't know
Liberty
why it
Lives
says
in New
it.
Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers.
No,
Watch
I
it
can't even
free
see.
at
Okay, there we go.
101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
And we're back here at the Rebel Love Studios. And earlier, last couple months, I normally don't binge on TV. I rarely ever watch TV. And my Rebel Mistress here pretty much said, we got to watch Rick and Morty. This has to happen. I think it went down that way. I don't know. But it don't matter. Rick and Morty, oh my God. Best Anarchist cartoon I've ever seen.
Yeah. And it's funny because it doesn't start off that way. It starts off, I feel like everything is I compare everything to Game of Thrones.
Yeah, you do.
Because there's always this red wet. Because that's the most fucked up TV show I think year to date. That TV show is we don't care who you are, what you have to do.
No one's safe. Everyone can die.
No one's safe. Everyone can die, and we will let you watch them die. Most
Slowly.
people will be like, "Oh yeah, we killed the characters," but you don't actually watch the characters die.
Rick and Morty is they're
Yeah.
graphic in the death of people.
Yeah, and it's Game of Thrones. for instance, the scene where they're like, if you haven't seen it, well, you probably need to get your life together. They're burning Cherie or whatever her name is at the stake or whatever. They showed her burning until she died, like every scream until like no more, and that is just something that doesn't happen in an episode. But anyway, so Rick and Morty, it starts off slow and it's like, where's this going?
It was very Back to
funny.
the Future-esque with like, you know, sci-fi cultural references, and but then it just keeps getting dark and twisted and like going down. Like they keep opening it up to the point where that there's so many possibilities of what could happen next.
Yeah, you never know. Like first it's like, oh, grandfather and son going on an adventure, and then all of a sudden they just fucking die.
Well, yeah. Well,
after that, everything
there's so
just
many Rick and
went-
Mortys that die. Yeah, I know, it's insane.
But the original Rick and Morty haven't died.
That is true. The
Yeah.
OG
gotta
Rick and
keep-
Morty.
you gotta keep up.
Yeah, they're technically still alive. Technically, the old rest of the family is still alive on that planet. They never actually died either. They're still back on the original Earth.
Yeah, but they remember it showed the.
They're like finding like
Okay,
they're
we're like
a-
top planet talking inside. So Rick and
Yeah.
Morty, so basically it's really good. The
What-
first two episodes, you don't really know like Rick's backstory. I think it is, and then there's an episode where kind of they fuck up their world and they just go to a new world where they happen to.
They find a similar universe
Where
where they
they-
died at that exact moment.
but they fixed the problem in that universe.
Yeah.
And so they found that universe and they traveled to it. And then it just starts getting dark from there. And it's kind of like these realizations of, nothing really matters. Everything's fake. Like,
Well, I mean, one thing I love though is like every once in a while they still try to throw in of like why the government's bad. Like, in the very
well,
beginning.
the whole thing's about the government.
Oh, I know. Like
yeah.
in the very beginning, it's like, no, Morty, like you're not going to go to school. It's just people telling you what's 2 + 2.
Yeah, it's
like-
just that you just sit down all day and people ask you what 2 + 2 is. But his parents still make him go to school. They're like, okay, well, fine. He still has to go to school though. And he's like, what? I'm a freaking genius. I build robots. And then on one of their adventures, I feel like this is after they already blew up. On one of their adventures, it starts getting into like Rick's backstory. Turns out he's like this freedom fighter.
Well, somewhat freedom fighter, somewhat terrorist,
Well,
call 'em
but
what you
the
will.
same difference.
Yeah,
depending on who's like.
yeah, depends on who you talk to.
Yeah, at this point, like the free staters could be freedom fighters, or according to the government.
Well, yeah,
know?
domestic terrorists at this point.
Anyone who's anti-government is a terrorist. But it goes like into him being like this freedom fighter. He doesn't think anyone owns the universe, and they're on this adventure, and he like starts killing like these bureaucrats who are like giant for flies.
Yeah,
but they're like
giant bugs.
yeah, giant bugs, but they're police officers or whatever. And then Morty's like, they're telling you to stop. Like, shouldn't you stop? And he's like, no, they're bureaucrats. Morty, we don't respect them. And then they're just like shooting these guys and then like just taking off. And then it just kind of goes like down. It's like a really I've never seen a cartoon like this before.
Yeah, it's so very individualistic. It's so it's in your face with that kind of ideology, and I love how they mix so much sci-fi like references in it, which is like the fact that they go between universe and universe using like a portal gun from like Sliders.
Yeah, every universe that you think exists, it has existed. It's like all those possibilities are true.
Plus how they go down the philosophical rabbit holes where there's universes inside of universe inside of universe that was created by Rick to begin with, all because he needed power for his headlights.
Yeah, so he created a whole civilization, and their purpose was to give power to his headlights. They don't know this. They're their own civilization inside this little bubble. It's their planet, but it's really inside of his headlights. And every function they do goes towards powering their headlights. And like that's their whole purpose.
And then they create another universe within that to help them accomplish that.
Yeah,
they keep going down and down and down.
But the guy, he thinks his universe is better, and he's like, you just here to power my headlights. And I asked Rob the question this. I'm like, what if we're just here, like doing all this work and exerting all this energy, and we're just powering some guy's headlights? Like, what if that's the universe that we're in? And it kind of makes you think on that level because the cosmos is so big, and it really makes you question, like, what matters.
One of my favorite parts of that show, though, was when the Council of Ricks came and captured Rick for crimes against humanity or whatever, something like that.
Yes, Rick is the main character.
Yeah, Rick is the main character. He's the mad doctor scientist. But the thing is, there's
super,
like a billion different, infinite number of parallel universes.
And because he's so smart, like in all the universes, they all decided to band together.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. A few Ricks decided that's not even the Rick thing to do, is to create government.
That they're too Rick for a Rick government. Like that's there's only the real Rick.
Yeah, and the Rick is Rick.
Yeah, the Rick is Rick when it creates a council of Ricks. He is his own Rick.
Yeah. And that's very individual, like especially like with himself. He's like saying, "No, even myself can't be the government."
I love how he compared their headquarters as their clubhouse. Like, yeah, they just want me to come over to their clubhouse. I'll be fine, but they're like all there wearing their uniforms as bureaucrat Ricks and stuff like that. It's like, you're under arrest, blah blah blah, for crime. Like acting as if like there's some sort of legitimacy to their government. When he's like, oh, it's just a clubhouse.
Yeah,
I gotta go there for a little bit.
Yeah, they're gonna ask me some questions at their stupid clubhouse. I find it, and this is a mainstream show, and I find that even more exciting. Do you think it's gonna come back out for a new season?
Oh, it has to.
Yeah, I feel they're doing commercials and stuff. Like I seen like them doing a commercial for like Carl's Jr. Rick and Morty,
Carl's Jr.
Yeah,
commercial.
and he's like he wakes Morty up and he's like, Morty, get up. And Morty's like, no, I got a test in the morning. He's like, get up. We got Carl's Jr. burgers up in here. And then like the real actual cheeseburgers as people like are walking through his bedroom. And like they're like fucking shit up and like spilling sauce out of them. It's a weird commercial.
That seems like a Rick and Morty
thing.
Like there's some things that happen in that show that is very, very odd.
Oh yeah. It's definitely for stoners. I find a lot of shows are for stoners lately. Even like, so they'll have these shows where they have a TV inside like the show. So you're watching TV, but you're watching them watch TV in these different universes, and it'll be the weirdest shit ever.
Yeah, but in all honesty, I kind of those, as funny as those episodes are, it seems like it's kind of like filler episodes. Like we don't really have the time or energy to write a compelling story, so we're just gonna have them watch crazy commercials.
I feel like these crazy commercials had to be very thought out, especially like the personal space commercial. So there's this commercial inside the TV show where this guy's like, oh, this show's about personal space. I'm gonna talk all about personal space. Stay out of my personal space. Okay, let's do 3 push-ups in my personal space. And he's like, you know what? I'm so concerned with my personal space that I'm going to rip my own skin off. I don't even want this skin in my personal space. And then the guy like rips his entire like skin off of his body, like in this like excruciating, like painful way. And you're like, what the fuck did I just watch? That's Rick and Morty.
In a nutshell, yes it is. Best anarchist cartoon on the planet. Go check it out, kids.
When we come back, we'll talk about free Uber grandma update.
I just heard the best sales pitch I've heard in a long time.
I was like, I don't think this is recording.
The flight attendant announced, if you paid more than $75, you overpaid.
Swift day.
Everybody on the flight paid more, and I was struck by how all the road warriors stopped typing and reading and working and looked up. The announcement invited us to apply for the airline's credit card and the sign-up bonus. Enough frequent flyer miles for a free round trip. Talk about turning lemons into lemonade. With some banks offering free credit cards, $75 is an outrage for an annual fee, but a bargain for airline tickets. For more tips on communicating more effectively, hit survivalspeech.com, where you can see how I got the CEO of another major airline to shower me with freebies. I'm Holland Cook.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Nestle Pure Life Water, helping you drink better and live better by providing a zero-calorie alternative to sugary drinks. Nestle-purelife.us. When kids are playing, they often don't want to stop to keep hydrated.
The Rick is Rick would vote for people and the fucking...
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. You vote.
or call them inside for
What
a quick
the
sip.
fuck? Are you going? Are
For
you
more
are
tips
you
like
using that
these,
card
visit
on me
us at
now?
Yes.
minarchist.com/yourfamily
I am not a fucking minarchist. I'm an
Here's a
anarchist.
chance
Fucking
to support
Jedi
activism
scum.
while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's post
I was
pass
gonna
by your
have to
newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click get notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
Free Talk Live, the show where anyone can call about whatever they want. And we do mean anyone.
He bought a radiation monitor on eBay for like $10.
You got to be kidding
A
me.
Geiger counter?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I said, let's put some batteries in it and get it fired up. So we fired it up. We started walking
You guys
around.
know how to spend an evening.
Yeah,
Get a
right.
couple of beers, hang out with the Geiger counter.
We were making readings of 10 Roentgens outside the house.
What's that mean? Is that bad?
Yeah, it is.
Is that dangerous?
Yeah, it is.
Really?
Right.
Now, where's the life-threatening one?
100 Roentgens. I'm really concerned now because I've seen.
But you weren't concerned before you got the radiation meter out.
Right.
Now you're definitely going to get cancer, Harry. What's the detector going to do for you, though? Really? I mean,
It'll
if you're
tell
going to
you-
die, you're going to die, right?
The guy that just called in about radiation, first of all, like, you got a Geiger counter off the internet.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
This is your Roberts Brokerage Daily Precious Metals Update. In early trading Tuesday, gold is up $6 at $1,077 per ounce. Silver is 4 cents lower at $14.29 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at $396 US. We still have plenty of 2015 US Mint silver and gold Eagle coins available. To get yours now, give Roberts & Roberts a call at 800-874-9760 or shop online at rrbi.co.
I'm bringing
You
it back.
can watch
right?
the LRN Studio Cam and chat with other listeners anytime at cam.lrn.fm. That's cam.lrn.fm.
And welcome back to the Rebel Love Show. Okay, so before we left off, I was telling you that I'm the rickest Rick of them all.
You are not the
bitch.
rickest Rick. I am so more Rick than you ever will be
How
a
can
Rick.
you be more Rick than me?
How can I be?
Yeah.
Well, first, so many reasons. All right. First off, I don't know, I'm just more rickus. Like, how are you more rickus? Like,
Okay, I'm more weak than you because I don't vote. I won't vote, not even for my friends. And I don't vote strictly because I don't believe in any form of government.
why you gotta play the voting card on the rickest
Because
Rick?
the rickest Rick would not vote. I'm not even registered to vote, bitch. I don't put my name on any piece of paper that I don't even have to. I don't even want to get passports because I don't want to tell them where I live. Like, there's nothing I want to do to link myself to them
Okay.
at all. And you know what? You don't have a problem doing that. You'll fight
You
the
c-
system from the inside. And
I ain't
you
trying to fight the
believe
system
in
from the
minarchy.
inside.
You
I
will
do
tell-
not
yes,
believe
you
in
do.
minarchy.
You-
That is
if
a
you're-
web of lies.
No, you say you.
I don't
you'll
believe in
even
it.
tell people. Well, you
I'll
even
put
tell
my
people.
minarchist cap
you,
on for
you,
a
you
second.
put your minarchist cap on too much. I don't got a minarchist cap, okay? And the Rickest Rick wouldn't have one either. So boom in your face. So to more important things, let's talk about free Uber grandma. She just had her court date, and Rob has the article right there. He'll tell you. A
Yeah.
little
So
about what happened.
Stephanie here, the Uber grandma, she's facing over $3,500 in fines from the city of Portsmouth. Stephanie France, she's 54. She's a grandma. She's a bus driver. And if you've been paying attention, Portsmouth has banned Uber, so she's getting all these tickets. She just had a court date where she pleaded not guilty.
She has $3,500 worth of tickets.
Yeah, and she's still driving. She's pretty much saying, "Fuck you! I'm still gonna drive. I'm driving a car. I'm driving drunk people home."
She's a free stater too.
I don't think she's a free stater.
No, she said it at dinner.
I don't think she understood what what that means. I don't.
Yeah, no, she did. She said she's a free stater. She said she signed the intent.
No. You can't sign the intent if you're a free stater. That's not the case
To be
either.
a friend.
She might sign to be a friend of the Free State Project, but she is not a free stater.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You cannot
I
be
forgot
a free stater
that matters.
unless you. Yeah, it does matter. You cannot be a free stater unless you sign the intent to move.
I've had it with all of you people, and you're at what it takes to be a free stater.
She
whatever.
could be a porcupine, but she's not a free stater.
Whatever. Anyway, back to her court date.
Yeah. So anyway, she had a court date where she pleaded not guilty, and then right after there was a city council meeting where she was there pleading with city council, saying like, leave me alone. I'm just driving.
I just want to do my job, and it's my business as an Uber driver, and I should be able to do that.
Yeah, what she said at the city council. It's just fascinating that this is still going on. That the fact that it's an app. We're literally talking about an app that someone downloads on their phone to drive drunk people home.
And they can't stop that. How are they going to stop the app? As long as someone has the ability to download Uber.
You know what I thought was awesome though was the fact that Uber is paying for her lawyer. Like she's fighting this in court, and Uber hired the lawyer, like everything, like is 100% paid for by Uber. Like, I can't imagine like the normal Uber driver is going to be able to handle, all the court fees fighting litigation against like the city of Portsmouth or something like that. If they're driving Uber, they're probably not like rolling in the funds. I mean, I'm sure Uber drivers make good money. But
no, they make really good money.
But not to the point where they're going to be able to hire lawyers at extraordinary, amounts of time.
Yeah, to keep on having to be in these fights with the state about driving a fucking taxi. Uber, when we were at that city council meeting, first of all, I feel like they were trying to bore us out. But second of all, I feel like they're only biased against Uber is the law is the law. Like that's literally all they got. That's all they have for us. It's the law is the law.
Yeah, it's the law. It's other people possibly on this council wrote down on a piece of paper that it's okay to do this. So because it's okay to do this, it should be done because, it protects the taxi cartels. It protects their business model.
And they said they already gave them leniency. The city of Portsmouth only allows 28 taxi medallions, and they graciously let Uber operate.
Like
now
Uber,
bend to our will. And that's so old. Like, I wish I could go up to each city council member, ask to see their phone, and I bet they'd be all like, I bet I wouldn't even see an app. Like, that is just ridiculous that these people are deciding for like the people who are using those apps and taking advantage of what technology has to offer, how innovative it's being. And you live in a place like Portsmouth where you got like these 85-year-old men and women sitting on the council talking about, oh no, how can we have Uber with their fucking portraits on the wall thinking they're gods, and then they get up and pray to a flag. I don't get it.
I love how they think that, Uber needs Portsmouth. Like they need Portsmouth. Like
No.
Uber's like, where the fuck is Portsmouth, New Hampshire? That's probably what they're thinking. Like, oh, this is a place that, there are people, and why would they stop this app? It's a great app. Everyone else uses it.
Yeah. Everyone else. No problem.
Yeah. And that is becoming an issue. And it's fascinating that they are like thinking that they're going to beat this. Like, the city of Portsmouth is going to beat this. Like they look like it looks as if like, people trying to stop online peer-to-peer sharing.
Yeah.
Like it's going to happen.
It's like people trying to stop the internet.
You can't stop the internet. You can't stop the message.
Like no internet. Like the internet's not going to be allowed in Portsmouth. Okay. We already allowed like text messaging and we're going to stop it there. I don't get it. Like
it's like they're afraid of change.
Yeah, they are.
This is just a better business model. This is better technology. It allows for a better way of communication, a better way of travel.
Yeah.
It's a net benefit.
They didn't even do their research on Uber. It was just like, oh, it's something different. It's something new, and it doesn't fit our like standard that we hammered out. And
maybe your standards are wrong.
Exactly, and outdated. And that's something they don't even like think of. And I feel like that's sad. That's sad because when those people rule you. Those people are the people who make the rules and decisions about what the fuck kind of taxi you can take. And I feel like that is where society has just, I don't know. When I see stuff like this grandma like having to put people out of her car at 3 a.m. because of some fucking bullshit rule about who can give rides to people and who can't. Like, that makes me like really sad. Like, people aren't like, they need to wake up to this kind of thing.
It definitely opens up eyes to a lot of people because most people think it's an app. Why would you, why are you going to start arresting grandmas for, driving drunk people home without permission? Like, is that the world we even want to live in?
Exactly.
Do we want to live in I know it's like, this seems like a niche thing to, like, to get behind for liberty, but it's a lot of stake with it because this is a, it's very personal. It's being able to literally drive. Is it okay for me to get in my car and drive someone?
Yeah.
If
you want to go support her, visit Free Uber on Facebook, and I'm sure they'll have a link there, and we'll try to put it in our show notes as well. Other than that, I mean, me and Rob are getting fit.
That's right. With Fitbit Challenge, we gotta get fit for Pork Fest. We gotta get
for
fit for our wedding,
our honeymoon, which we gotta look good for.
Oh yeah, we gotta look good for
yeah, and it's super exciting. If you wanna get fit with us, we're in a group with a bunch of other people, and it's so much fun.
Yeah, the accountability group.
Yeah,
for the hike,
the naked tent.
Yeah, there's gonna be a naked hike.
Not Portsmouth.
That'd be
Fest.
awesome. The Pork Fest.
No.
Yeah, there's gonna be a
Portsmouth
porcupine nude hike
meltdown.
at some point in the time. I don't know exactly when or where during Pork
But
Fest.
it'll be a Pork Fest.
But there's an accountability group.
Yeah.
If you want other porks to like bitch you out for not exercising, join that group.
And join us on Fitbit. Add us as a friend. You can just find me and Liverette on there. And
I don't know.
Sure you're just
I have no idea how like the actual
I think you just look through Facebook, I think.
yeah, you can add me on Facebook or just message me. I'll send you my email for what I use for it.
It's totally easy. Join us, get fit with us. We're excited for everything coming up.
Aren't you upset that the government can now track our biometrics with these things? They're gonna know my heart rate.
And why would that be important?
What
are they gonna do with that information?
I'm thinking in the forms of like conspiratorial libertarian. Like now I'm giving the government access because maybe they have access to the metadata that Fitbit collects.
Can I just be honest for real quick for a second before we go off air? This world is going to shit. Obama's begging for war, and we've just got the most craziest presidential candidates, and now more than ever we need to embrace anarchism, and because this world's going to shit. So throw your minarchist cap off. Shit's gonna get real here. We'll see.
It's gonna get real.
You don't think so? After Obama ruined Once Upon a Time for me last night.
That was the last straw for you,
That
huh?
was my
last
straw.
straw was Once Upon a Time. That was your line of saying like fuck the government.
Fuck the government.
Obama.
I'm done.
I had
I'm
to wait
done
to
with
watch
it.
my show.
Anyway, go find my book on audible.com. Let's use free speech to exalt revolution.
Go download the Rebel Love Show at rebelloveshow.com. Peace.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which